All right.
Fuck.
It's all good.
We're already demonetized.
This is the first. This is the first
I
episode,
feel like
right?
maybe we should have thought this through a little more.
First episode. All right.
Oh,
Well.
this is the
Let's
first
just do
episode.
whatever. This is the
Alright,
first episode.
Anyway.
Each one.
Anyway,
Who's
welcome
gonna
to-
introduce the podcast?
Bruh
Sorry,
Studios presents.
Hey, hush, man. Hush, man.
This is terrible. Anyway, welcome to the Bro Studios. Quote unquote. It's not even a podcast. It's more like a. Well, no, I guess it's pre-recorded, so if y'all are
Podcast
into
show.
this.
In
Yeah.
a sense, it's a podcast.
Anyway.
Welcome to Bro Studios fucking around.
Sure, man. Sure. Anyway, Bro
Bruh
Studios.
Studios
The
after hours.
cast of Kung Fu Cole bringing you different movies. It's not just Kung Fu Cole. You know, we got the Monocle coming up eventually. The Ken movies in the works. We're writing the
That's the
script
first
for
one.
that. Anyway, let's introduce our casting now. So I'll go down by alphabetical order when it comes to the Discord chat. So first we'll start off with Best Ranger. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I am the props master of this little short film or film these guys are doing.
All right. How about Carne Asada Babies? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Go, it's me.
I mean, we need a little more than just that, man. Come on.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, moving on. We got Cosmic. He's the main star of the first 5 movies for Kung Fu Cole. He's Cole, man. He's the main star. Why don't you introduce yourself, Cosmic?
I don't know why I'm here, but I'm glad to be here.
All right. And then, okay, we have SC. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, fellas. I'm the lead soundtrack composer for all these projects.
All right. And then we got
Go on.
we got Thug. Yeah, we got Thug.
That's me. What's up? I'm what's my character's name again?
Your coleslaw. Your coleslaw.
Yes, I am Coleslaw, the best character in the movies.
He's the main villain, pretty much. And
You're-
I'm DNA. I am Cole's mentor in the movie, pretty much just an old Joseph, Jackie Chan type of thing, that type of bullshit. And one of the main leading producers, if you would even call this a movie studio. But yeah, that's everybody for now. Obviously, we got more people in our casting crew, but I think everybody's busy at the moment. But anyway, that was just a quick run through. So I hope.
Somewhat.
Yeah,
So what are we
I-
talking about today, fellas?
Yeah, what's the Bruh Studios got to offer to this?
What do we
little
got on the script
gathering.
tonight? What do we got on the script tonight, boys?
Do you want to introduce the topic, Victor?
Oh yeah, because I'm very familiar with it. Today we are talking about console wars.
Oh,
I
Alright.
don't know
Sounds
what's
kinda-
Take me down to the depths of hell to watch the Down Bad Podcast Show.
You dumb.
the theme song. But his
I'll just edit it in.
his choice for bringing this up is really good, considering that it's the 7th generation, right? 7th gen?
I
Yeah,
think
we're about to
so.
get new consoles.
Yeah, 7th gen
Seriously.
drops next month. The Xbox Series X
Already.
and the PlayStation 5.
It feels like not
Anyway.
too long ago that they were announced. It's kind of crazy.
So
I
explain
know.
the console wars. What's
I mean, it's pretty
this whole thing?
self-explanatory if you think about it. Right? You know, it's been going on since the 90s, you know, Sega, Nintendo, and
I
then
was
Sony,
raised in the console wars.
Nintendo.
You were barely molded by it.
It's been going on for so long. There's even a book about it.
there's a book anyway. So what I like
94%
to
rated.
my input on console wars is but shit, I'm trying to think about it. I don't like to take sides on consoles because I believe that they both have their own unique aspects to contribute in which console you choose to purchase, right? Like, obviously, the PS5's got an amazing library so far, and not only is it backed up by
Human
the
souls.
entire PS4 library at launch, about I think 98%, which is great for sales. That's great marketing. PlayStation has been doing an excellent job at that. But not only is their starting lineup probably one of the strongest starting lineups I've seen for a new console in a very long time. Like, if you
For
look
sure.
at that list, there is almost a game genre for every type of player out there. But the thing is, as much as I want Halo to turn the tide of the war between the console wars, as much as I'm rooting for Xbox because they've really turned it around these last couple of years with the One, who just really failed to have its identity in this last generation. All the good stuff for Xbox is coming out next year. PlayStation's already gonna have a huge leg up on the competition if you think about it that way. I'm rooting for both sides, but obviously if Halo Infinite doesn't pick up steam and if Xbox just can't deliver with their own exclusives. I mean, they got Bethesda on their back now, which is great for exclusives, by the way. But they're gonna need to do some serious hustling if they want to catch up to PlayStation after like pretty much a year of having no games.
For sure, because I mean, like, I own an Xbox One, and even though I use it for stuff, a lot of the stuff I use it for is just like online games that are already on other consoles, either like Switch or PlayStation, to the point where it's kind of like, if I had already owned it on another console, like, I would never use my Xbox. And
I got no.
I feel like the worst case scenario is that like the Series X or the Series S is just sort of going to be a repeat of this generation, which I hope doesn't happen, and I don't think it's going to happen. But with how strong PlayStation's lineup is, it's kind of hard to tell.
For sure, for
Hey,
sure.
look. Hey, look. Though PlayStation has a nice like lineup of games, they better fix their party system. That recent thing right now,
Oh yeah,
that wasn't so nice.
that is terrible.
Yeah, it's an invasion of privacy.
Not only that, it was a pretty big curve to how the system works with that. And hopefully they don't have to. Hopefully they don't put that in the next console.
I don't really stand on any side in these console wars. It's just like, if I like the console, I'll get it. A lot of them have really good games, which is good. They have a lot of good launch titles.
Yeah, they do. Both sides really.
I know, me personally, I'm not buying either at launch. I'm going to wait a bit, which I think
For
is probably
sure,
the best thing.
Mhm.
Honestly, waiting would be the best thing because if there's any kinks in their
Mhm.
like consoles for both sides, you could just wait it out and not have to deal with it.
Remember the Switch launch?
Oh,
All the problems
Wasn't
that
it?
came with that.
Oh, dude,
Wasn't
I
it
was
that, like, they
okay,
broke?
So yeah,
Like, the
okay. So
dock
I
would
could
scratch
talk
when you took
about
the
this
thing out.
personally as a day one Switch owner. I was lucky to not experience any of the day one problems with my Switch. I've had it for 3 years now. You know, day one. I have never had any issues with my Switch, so I am thankful. But I can't acknowledge how atrocious
Hey.
that launch was. But at the same time, the only reason why so many people remember the Switch launch is because of how evolved the internet had become and how much publicity it was getting as the next Nintendo console. You look at the Xbox One launch and especially the PS4 launch, I feel they were honestly pretty like equally terrible if you ask me.
I don't really remember them.
PS4
Yeah,
Pros
the
were
only-
PS4
Those are-
Pros were blowing up TVs if you guys remember those.
Yeah, I
Those
do kind of
TVs,
remember
excuse
that.
me? I never heard
Yeah.
of the PS4 Pros doing that.
Yeah, because of how strong they were. Like if you didn't have a strong enough TV or some shit, like
It
didn't
melted
happen-
your TV
Yeah,
basically.
it would melt your TV pretty much. It would melt
That's-
your TV.
I have like a broken down PlayStation 4 in my closet, which belonged
So
to my
it's the
cousin.
equivalent of having a crappy monitor then.
Pretty much, yeah. And then the Xbox One was just the Xbox One.
Oh, yeah, it's just there.
It's
Hey,
just
yeah.
It's a
Hey, I'm
360.
not gonna. Look, hey, luckily my brother got a Switch recently, so
let's
like,
go.
hopefully, yeah, we've just been messing around lately, playing crap in the Smash.
That's good, man. Switches are cool.
Speaking
It
of
is.
new lineups,
Speaking of, or you go first.
nah, that's good. It's about a game. You can go ahead with yours.
All right. Anyway, I was gonna say, like, I guess, like, speaking of the Switch, like, how do you guys think that sort of fits into this like new generation? Because I know there are sort of like rumors of like a Switch Pro or whatever. I don't know, like,
If
I
there
think
was
that-
You know,
a
how
Switch
reliable those
Pro,
are.
they should have announced that like a little while back, honestly.
The
Yeah,
thing about
I'm-
Nintendo is they have very poor, like, they have
Marketing
very
skills?
poor. No, it's gotten better. Definitely better from how it used to be during the Wii U era. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
talking-
way better.
Oh my
Nintendo
god.
has-
The
Nintendo has
Wii U era, how
really
that
bad
sounds,
communication.
it sounds horrible. Like
It
even with the
was.
name
It
Wii
was.
U era.
But no,
Leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
the Nintendo's communication skills are really bad. They're almost on par
th-
with Valve's communication skills. Like
they're
there's
a
no
crappy
connection.
company, but they make good products.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like
Yeah.
as much as the Smash community is complete dog shit, it's a great game, and even though I hate the game personally, I still play it and kind of enjoy it. But my God, Nintendo was like 2 generations behind when it comes to online. Oh
Oh yeah,
boy.
for sure.
Wait, like online management?
They are
Yeah.
terrible when it comes to online services.
So like, let's say like, are you talking about like skill gaps
No, no, no. Nintendo Online is
No.
or like
fucking
server?
terrible. Nintendo Online is terrible. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that you're getting what you're paying for, but like with Xbox, right? You pay for a full year of gold, you get so much stuff with that. Same with if you pay
You get
for
free games, man.
yeah, and if you pay
Yeah.
for a
That is
whole
one of
year
the
of
best things
PlayStation
that like.
Plus, yeah,
Okay, now
I got
good
Terraria
thing.
with
Look,
that
good
shit,
thing you brought that
man.
up. Good thing you brought that up.
Fun game.
So speaking of that, I'm really mad at the whole like, oh, PlayStation Plus, you have to pay for that. That's so dumb. They could have just kept that. They could have kept it like the PlayStation 3, and honestly, they could have sold a lot more than they are making with like buying constantly for a year.
arguably the sad part is that I've seen a lot of people like doing speculations online that console companies really don't even have to pay for online, or they don't really have to force consumers to pay for online subscription services anymore because they're already making a lot of money just off the console and the games alone. That really the amount of money that they pull in from the online subscriptions really isn't that significant. They could really do without it. It's just whether or not companies are being greedy, and that's exactly
Well,
what it
yeah, but
is.
like most corporations are
PlayStation,
gonna try and
man, you
squeeze out
like
every penny they can.
Sony, man, they were never this greedy back then, man.
I mean, yeah, you could make the argument that Sony always wins, right? I mean, because they kind of do.
Sony
But
always
like,
Oh,
I
nah,
know,
dude.
but at the same time, there comes a point between being good at what you're doing and being overconfident. Like, I'm not saying PlayStation's
Just
being
shitting things out.
overconfident.
Like, if you
It's
couldn't tell, I played both. I played both consoles. I like both equally and fairly.
PlayStation is very confident. Yeah, I feel you there. It's just like PlayStation is great, okay? They're like continuing to evolve their practices that have been there since day one, and that's honestly great for them. But at the same time, I feel like they just have to be careful with what they're doing, especially that new party chat feature was such a bad move on PlayStation's part, really. That was such a bad it's not good PR. It's not good PR at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
completely unnecessary. Really?
Banned from where?
Oh.
Oh my god.
why send that though?
I mean, it's kind of funny, but also kind of fucked.
What was it? So it was just like regular furry stuff. Like it's just like a fursona, pretty much. Just that.
Then he got banned.
But, but he wasn't doing the nasty. It was just existing and then banned.
People wouldn't survive in Xbox 360 voice chat lobbies these days.
Oh,
Not a
100%
chance.
not.
That is
Not
true.
a chance. Anyway, that's all for console discussion for now, and with that, we're gonna take a short break. We'll get back to it. It'll give the boys enough time to get up and get their legs stretching, get some water. We'll be right back. For us, it'll be for however long we need. For you guys, it'll hopefully be no more than 10
I'll be
seconds.
snapping my fingers.
We'll have a little intermission. Michael will do the editing, so take it from here, man. Take it from here, Mikey.
All right, everyone. We are back from our break, which was probably like 5 seconds to you, but for us, it was like a few minutes. And for this next segment,
Guys,
we are
this
going
pen says it's made from China.
for this next for this next for this next segment, we're going to be talking about crazy stories that has happened to us or that we've experienced either in school or out of school. Whatever's just got to be funny. So I guess we'll. Who wants to go first for this?
DNA, why don't you take it?
Um,
Take it away, DNA.
how about I'll save mine for the end. Trust me, I'm probably gonna make it sound more dramatic than it is for the viewers, but trust y'all just probably want to wait till the end for mine.
All right,
If
Alright,
only,
uh,
if only,
I'll
uh,
go
what about-
first. I'll go first.
if only Carne
Alright.
Asada Babies was here, because it would have been great to have him as a wingman for this one. But anyway, I'll let you take the floor, Mikey.
Do a tweet, SC.
All right, thank you, Victor. So, in middle school, there was this one special ed kid. He was special to say the least.
No shit.
In the locker room, one time, I was changing out, and I had gotten back into my clothes. My friend who was next to me shouted like, "Ooh!" And I was like, "What are you looking at, man?" I turned around, and there's the special ed kid had his fucking dick out, and he was walking around the locker room. Everyone
Oh.
was like freaking out. And then another time I went in the bathroom and he was in there and he turned around and just like started walking to the sink with his dick out. He would do this so much, it was weird, but like
How did it look
know.
like though? Like what you
I
gotta
remember
gotta,
it was
you
like
gotta describe.
What,
it
his
was like-
dick?
it was like really, really pink. That's all I remember. Like
Ugh.
Oh no.
my God.
It's raw from too much use.
Oh,
That's cold.
it was
My
just like
God.
a bigger nipple.
My God.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Alright, so that's my story.
I'm going to hell.
Let's take the floor. Fuck.
Mine's kind of long. Food, do you have like maybe a shorter one?
Wait, who?
You.
dude.
Oh shit. Okay. Frick. What's a good one? There's too many for me. Maybe we could do like a fucking. I'm trying to remember one. What's one that I've told before? Outside of the podcast, I've.
I feel like you might have told one before that's like really good. You know what? You think about it. I'll tell mine while you
Alright.
think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, since
Um,
Cole's got long, that would be fine.
Yeah.
Go, Cole.
So it was freshman and sophomore year of high school. I had to deal with the fucking craziest teacher that I have ever had, and I don't think, like, obviously everyone has at least one like crazy teacher story, but like this one trumps them all. This goddamn French teacher, I'm 90% sure is like an actual psychopath. So basically, whenever she heard someone speaking English in her class, she would force them to say the same thing but in French.
Jesus.
And she did it no matter what they said. So like one time, some girl was like crying, borderline crying to her friend because her dog died, and she stopped the entire class and was like, "All right, say that again, but in French." Now,
Oh my
say your
God.
dog died, but
What's
in
wrong
French.
with her?
Yeah.
Oh
And,
my.
like, because people, like, she picked up on everything from stuff about, like, dead pets and relatives, people's sex lives.
She probably gets off
Everything.
on
Oh my
that.
God.
She probably gets off on
Maybe.
that.
Ah.
And she had no empathy, too, either. Like, I remember one time, like, this one girl, she, like, kind of fell out of her seat and kind of bruised herself. And instead of, like, the teacher walked up, but instead of helping her up, she was just like, what are you doing? Get out your notebook, like being all rude and shit about it. And she was also really into like spirituality and religion and stuff, which, with most people, it's like I don't judge. But with her, she would basically like use class time to like teach us that shit instead of what she was supposed to be teaching.
What
To corrupt the
religion
children.
was he a part of?
The children.
And there's like so many stories I could tell. I could make an entire like podcast just about this.
We should
teacher.
dedicate an episode just to her, Cole. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Cole's French teacher.
I need to vent some frustrations. But yeah, for now that's all I have to say. She was fucking crazy, dude.
All right. Well, I guess it's
Dude.
I guess it's my turn then. So back in sophomore year, right? That was 2 years ago for me now. Cardenisada babies or Giovanni, me and him had a Spanish class together in 7th period, right? That class was kind of normal, you know, just full of ghetto kids, your typical CP high school class. But then there was me and Gio. Even though our teacher, who his name will go unsaid because y'all don't need to know what school we go to, but so anyway, that teacher hates us, but doesn't at the same time. And I quote from him, "I like you guys, but you're so damn annoying." End quote. But so anyway, we kind of started a revolution in his class, right? Well, not even. We just kind of like encouraged bad behavior, and it just kind of.
No, it's him.
We got all right, guys. We got special guest Aiden here today.
He's gone.
Wanna say
He's
hi?
gone.
Oh,
Oh
he's gone.
shit! Special guest.
Well, that was our guest interview.
He's
Oh,
gone.
what the- please tell me you got that.
Yeah, it's recording. My God.
Oh thank God.
Wait, what the fuck? What happened?
Okay, so we're on the we're on the school stories, right? And then fucking Aiden comes in here and plays he plays like the stock fart sound effect, but it's backwards and it's in reverb. Like,
No.
Jesus
By the way,
Christ.
my phone died earlier right now. At least
That's cool.
hold on, give me a sec. Hold on, I'll continue with my story in a sec. Hold on.
Dude, that was
Oh my
epic.
God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. I really picked that up. Oh my God. It's so funny.
Yeah, next episode we gotta have Aiden in here.
Wait, are you guys still
full-time.
recording?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still recording.
Oh, he went
Just
to the
Aiden
other,
joined randomly.
he's in the other chat with Anthony.
Hey,
My
look, I'll be back.
God.
Yeah, look, I'll be back. I'm gonna let my phone charge.
Alright, wait, this is still recording.
Yeah, I know it is. Don't worry. I don't know if you can cut it out or
it's
not.
fine. I'll talk more about
Is that good, man?
French, I guess, because I have a million stories to tell from there. She would like. This is another reason why, like, when I say I think she's actually a psychopath, I'm not joking, because she would forget shit constantly. And a lot of the time, also, like, when you did work and like turned it in, she would straight up tell you that you didn't do it, even if she already just graded it and it did the grade. I don't know if she had like mental. I mean, okay, she definitely had mental problems, but I don't know if she had like memory problems or what. But
if she's forgetting stuff, she probably does. Like that, she probably has like
probably, and she's like in her 50s or 60s, so it's pretty possible.
What school?
What, our school?
Ours. What the fuck? Dude, thank God I didn't have French. Fuck French.
Yeah, fuck French. I mean, the language itself, like, I probably would have liked if it weren't for the fact that I never learned shit in that class.
Nah.
The French language just sounds funny to me. Like if someone's speaking French, I'm not gonna take them seriously.
Oh, baguette. Oh.
Like
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Ah, croissant.
like
Oh, you're
Oh
back.
no.
We got a special
Aiden's
guest.
back. Hey, can we
Qu'est-ce
get a
que
quick
c'est?
Baba Booey?
Can we get a babooey?
Oh god.
He just fucking left before anything happened.
Why?
Aiden moment. Oh.
All right.
Aiden.
Special guest star, the real you.
He just keeps cutting it, doesn't he?
Right before.
Got a feeling he's
he
gonna
gets
come
to
back
he'll be back, and
There he is.
again. I don't know.
Again.
fucking,
All right, we gotta get back on track.
Shouldn't be
God.
funny.
it's exactly. It shouldn't be funny, but it is.
It's just a sound in reverse.
All right.
Oh my god.
Back again with his French class. His French teacher having
No, we were on
amnesia.
Raymond's story.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Okay.
But
Anyway,
yeah, we're back to DNA story.
where was I? So we were talking about that Spanish class. Okay, I remember now. So, pretty much what we had done to a majority of that class is he called us a pack of hyenas, our entire class, just because we tore to shit. Like, we made our teacher replace. Like, this obviously doesn't apply to every school because it's what's the word I'm looking for?
Ghetto.
Its architecture is different. You know, each
Yeah.
school's architecture is different depending on money and districts. But anyway, so in our school we had these. Michael could just pull up like a picture of like a desk or something. We had like these big like desks, the white or gray desk in the back of our classrooms, or depending on which type you had. But so me and Gio had the bright idea to start picking away at these things, right? And it was fun. It's like, oh, it just seemed harmless.
Oh, I remember this. I think it did.
No.
Halfway through the year, he had to get no, not halfway through the year, but towards the end of the year. No, not even. It was junior year. He replaced his entire desk, like entirely. It was new because not only was it missing like the top little plastic layering on it, but like its middle boarding, the nails that kept it held together came off, so it was like a hazard. Like desk was literally falling apart back there. Like you could sit on it and you could hear the wall creaking. Like that thing was ready to give in. But anyway, I'll tell this one story we did. So back in September of sophomore year, me and Gio, we sat in the back of the classroom where those desks were. And so me and him had the idea to like, hey, Gio's like he has this leftover carton of chocolate milk in his backpack, and he gives,
no! I remember.
he gives it to me. And so in the back of that classroom, there was a blue recycling bin that was always turned over. So it was like never touched. That thing had so many layers of dust on it. It was looking like a Wii U after the Switch came out. But anyway, so I have opened the carton, right? And I sneak it under there. And then me and Gio said, we're gonna take it out next week and it's gonna smell so bad, right? And it'll be funny. And me and Gio forgot about that for about like 4 months, I think.
Oh my god.
No.
And then
Oh
hold
my
on,
God.
September. Oh, it was September. Shit. What is it? Yeah, September.
11.
No, no.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
God.
Victor,
You gotta cut that part out. You got just
Yeah,
censor
yeah,
him.
you're
No,
gonna
no,
get
no,
us
no,
canceled.
You just gotta censor
What
him
noise?
for that part.
We need to have like a censorship noise.
Bruh, it's
Like
gonna be
something.
bruh. It's gonna be bruh.
Oh yeah, bro.
Watch,
Bruh.
look at this. Just censor this part out. Right, it's perfect
Bruh.
for you to practice that out. Anyway, so
Alright.
okay, so it had been September, right? We did it like halfway through September, so around September 15th, October, November, December, January. No, we took it out in March. So January, February, March. Oh
God.
my, it was in there for like 7 or like 8 months. Oh my god. But anyway,
So that's like the entirety of like quarantine, basically. Like that's how
pretty
long.
much. So anyway, back to the story. So one day we were just sitting at our desk because we got proper seating about that time through the year, and so me and Gio were talking, right? And I'm like, wait a minute, hey Gio, do you remember that one like milk carton that we talked to each other about like back in September? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you think it's still back there? And then like we go and investigate because we had a sub that day. He wasn't there, and whenever there's a sub in that class, oh boy. Anyway, so normally chocolate milk's a kind of a light, brown to it, right? It's light because it's still got milk texture to it. But
Like poo.
so first thing when I lifted the recycling box off it, the carton was still there, but the bottom side of the carton had started to grow a black mold on it,
Oh my god.
Cool.
and the smell. Just
Ew.
imagine what dead bodies smell like. Anyway, so I had poured a little bit of it over just to see what it looked like on the carpet back there. And I swear that thing was dark as charcoal. I have
Oh my
never
god.
seen anything that looks more horrid than that.
Foul.
It's
Oh.
the definition of it. I'm pretty sure we created COVID with that. Anyway, um, so we had our friend Ethan, right? He was a freshman at the time. He went back there with us and he poured over the whole thing, and we left the carton back there. And over the next week, the smell just kind of kept fermenting, and it started getting really bad to where you could smell it through the walls outside. Other classrooms were starting to smell it.
Oh my
so-
god.
First period of the classes he was teaching that year had to bring in their own cleaning supplies to try to
Jesus.
mask the smell. How bad it was.
What?
Down bad, dude. Just down bad.
Down bad moment.
Oh, and then I got one more thing to share. So there was this old sub named Mr. B, right?
Is it the peanuts?
Yeah, it's the peanut story.
Yeah.
His name was Mr. B. He was this old fat white guy. Who was a huge.
Was it the dude with the scorpion belt?
I don't know. He was
I
a huge.
swear it
He
had
was a
that.
huge tool though, and we called him Santa Claus for the longest time. But anyway, he was a huge tool, and he would send people out of the classroom for like no reason. But so anyway, Gio had brought over a bag of like I think Japanese styled like peanuts or something. I don't know. They
Oh, I
were
know
really
those.
hard peanuts. But our friend Marcos, who's moved to Arizona now. We miss you, Marcos. If you ever find this, I hope that was your name. But so he made a little water bottle launcher, right? So I'll teach you all how to make it. So what you do is you cut off the top cap of a water bottle, so you just have the cap and that little like centerpiece. It's pretty much like yeah. So y'all know we'll pull up a picture of a water bottle and we'll draw a line over it, just so you know where the cutoff point is. Anyway, so that's demonstrating. So you take the cap off. Obviously, you don't need that anymore. You just need to cut it to like where that part of the water bottle is. You to where the cap is, you put a balloon there. You put a really, really small type balloon and make sure it's stretchable enough to fit something in there, and it launches more steadily. And then you wrap it in whatever strong tape you have, and then boom, you got a launcher. So what we did for most of the time was we just playfully shot pencils just across the classrooms or like into the ceilings where they get stuck in the drywall. But we started shooting peanuts, but like they would either half the time they wouldn't make it out of the water bottle shooter because either it was too heavy, it would just bounce off the walls because of how hard these nuts were. But so we had the idea to shoot some at this old fat bastard because he was such an ass, and he was sleeping. So I had the idea. I'm like, hey Gio, give me the launcher and the biggest peanut you have. And then so I reel the thing back. I reel the thing back as far as I can. God, I wish we were recording that shit. But so I reeled it back and aimed it toward the desk where he was sleeping at. And when I shot it out, that thing had shotgun pelleted everywhere. It was like shrapnel going off during World War II. It was just shards everywhere. And so you had heard it because he had where the teacher's desk was. He had a bunch of papers like on his wall. So like you just heard like the of it just get all over the papers. And then like he flinches up from his nap and like looks fucking petrified. And then me and Gio are just like holding our breaths, like our faces are red as cherries. We're just trying not to burst out laughing while that shit just happened. And then, okay, so the following day when our teacher comes back, he was reading the note, because subs usually read the note. And so far, it's the standard stuff like they were loud, they were disruptive, they didn't listen too much, none of them did their work. But at the very end, and I quote what the sub left on the note, and I want you to process this, like to our audience and our friends in this podcast here. Could you imagine going to school, right? And yeah, you've heard of stories of kids shooting paintball, or not paintballs, like spitballs and like just throwing pencils or paper airplanes.
Shit on the wall.
But I'm sure in all his 40 years of teaching, never once has he ever gotten a sub to write down, and they threw peanuts at me.
They threw peanuts at me.
Oh, and then me and Gio are just like, we're like pinching ourselves just to like not laugh. Oh, and then after that we just laid low in the classroom for a little while because I'm pretty sure he thought it was us. But anyway, that's the end of my story.
Oh
God.
god.
God,
Jeez.
I wish we would have recorded that shit, dude.
Down
Oh
bad.
my god, that would have been amazing.
Oh.
Dude. Peanuts.
And they threw peanuts at me.
Oh, did he ever come back after that?
No,
Probably not.
never came back. Oh my god, I need to freaking get some water.
The sub that you're talking about, I've had him a couple times. He is. I can
I've had him a
verify
lot.
he is an asshole.
Yeah, he is a huge tool. But and with that, I think that's where we're gonna leave it off for now.
For this segment, yeah.
For
Oh
this
my god.
I think that's just gonna be the end of it. Really, I think 2 segments is a good.
Well,
It's
that's
a good
the episode.
episode 1. Yeah, that's
did
a
you
good
guys
episode.
want to? Alright.
Yeah, it's a
We
good
can talk about the KFC stuff some other time.
Yeah, that's a whole episode on its own. Trust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a
That's
lot to
about
talk
like I
about
think
there.
45 minutes of
Anyway,
footage or so?
yeah,
I think I
just it's gonna be long. It's gonna be a long
Yeah.
podcast for the KFC universe. But and with that,
KFC extended lore.
we might have had a few people drop in and out. You know, Carne Asada babies, which is Gio,
Best
and then we
Rager.
had Best Ranger, which is Gaia. We had him drop out, but to Cosmic Cole, SC Michael, and Thug Victor, and then of course me, I'm Ray. I hope you enjoyed our experimental but first episode of the Bro Studios Down Bad podcast, and no matter how many views it gets or how much publicity it attains, we just hope that you enjoyed this to some degree of just a couple idiots rambling on. Anyway, with that, we hope you have a good day, evening, whatever time zone you are. And we just hope y'all had a good time listening to us, and take care of yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
It's gonna go downhill from there.
Bye,
Hell
folks.
yeah. Peace out.
Oh, boys,
Down
I'm back.
And it's ending. And it's
over.
ending.
It's over.
It's not good.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Craig, could you cut it off from here, Craig? To wait, let me think. Okay. We're sorry to fuck, you know what I mean. Sorry for the poor editing. But so might as well throw in a tradition since it's the first episode, so you guys kind of understand this. At the end of every episode, the Bro Studios podcast crew is gonna try to give a random shout out to anyone we see fit. And what I was thinking that maybe we do like a random selection off of voting. Whoever, let's say it lands on me, right? I just have to pick a person off the top of my head to give a shout out to. And I just think, to keep things interesting so it just doesn't get too formulaic. So can we give a quick shout out to Masahiro Sakurai for putting Steve in fucking Smash Bros? Can we give a quick
Yeah,
shout
man.
out to him
For real.
Hey, shout out Masahiro
Shout out
Sakurai.
Masahiro Sakurai. We got Steve and Smash.
For
Anyway,
being like one
Head
of
guts nerd.
honestly like one of the coolest I feel like game developers just
for
like out
sure,
there.
he puts up with the
Like,
Smash
Bro,
community.
this ain't
That's all
bro.
the-
This ain't a whole ass new episode. Let's chill out for the new recommendations for now.
Anyway, all right, that's it for now, boys. That's it for now.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap for y'all.
You have no sauce, none. You ain't getting no draw, none at all. Piccolo, you have no sauce, none. You ain't